Hello my dears, and welcome to my fairy fall cafe kitchen recipe box. This is quite a substantial weighty box. It feels really nice to hold and it's very pretty, and we've got this lovely doily teapot belly band with all these cakes all around, and we can slide that off. We've got a little closure here, and then inside the box we have got this accordion folded collection of pages that has got 6 large pockets on. Now each of these large pockets can relates to a specific fruit or vegetable, and we've got 3 savoury here with the mushroom, the corn cob and the beet, and 3 sweet with the apple, the pear, the apple and the pumpkin, and each has a pocket on the front depicting what the recipe is all about that I'm about to reveal to you. Now each pocket has a fairy that corresponds to the fruit or the vegetable. So we've got a beautiful little mushroom fairy, we've got a corn cob fairy, we've got a beet fairy, we've got a lovely little pear fairy, we've got an apple fairy, and we've also got this cute little pumpkin fairy. And at the top of our pockets we've got these little thumb cuts that reveal these little peekaboo fairies that are also in their costumes connected to whichever fruit or vegetable they're representing. And then inside we've got these actual recipes. We've got 3 savoury recipes, we've got mushroom soup, we've got a recipe for sweet corn soup, which is really nice. It's got the addition of lemon, which really lifts and adds some zing to that whole dish. Then we've got a traditional beetroot soup. And then we go on to the sweets. We've got pear and chocolate pudding, which is lovely. We've got these cinnamon apples, which are so tasty, it's unbelievable. And then we've got pumpkin cake at the end here. So you've got 3 savouries and you've got 3 sweets. So you've got 3 complete meals there. And now if we turn this over, it zigzag folds back into its space like that. It, like I say, it feels really nice. It feels so weighty. And then on the reverse, we've got this humongous writing space. You do get in the kit some blank, you get 5 different blanks here of these little fairies for your own recipe cards. You can dot those in between, you can add them to these pockets. There's lots of room in these tab pockets for more recipe cards. I've got 3 in there, I could easily fit another 1. And you can also make flips, so thus extending your writing space even further. I think this is a really delightful little kit. I'm very, very happy with it. If you would like to come with me, we can see how this is put together. So I've cut out all my bits and bobs. I'm on 250 gram throughout, and everything has been reverse printed with page 3, apart from page 5, page 6 and page 7, which contains these longer pockets and these little pockets. You don't need to reverse print those, otherwise reverse print everything else, and I'm ready to get started. I'm going to begin by constructing my box base, as pretty as this is. This is the base of the box. And you've got score lines to follow. You'll see them all the way around. You've got them going all around this big square here. You've got them going across like this and down like this on both sides. And once you've done that, you can fold your box over and fold all of those creases to the inside. There, and when you've got all your edges folded into the middle, you can begin to put the thing together. Turn it back so you've got the picture facing you, and you can glue onto these 4 little tabs here. As you know, or as you might know if you've watched any of my other videos, I like to let my glue go tacky for a minute so that I get an instant grab. And once that's had a bit of a chance to go tacky, turn it over again and start to make your box form, paying attention to these corners here, that everything's sitting nice and flush. you're happy that's as you want it, you can glue along your long flaps now. And the shorter ones. This is a funny angle for the video, I appreciate that. Give those a chance to go tacky so you get an instant grab. I find that squidging them along with your finger just lightly helps with that process. And if you're interested in my glue, which a lot of people are, let me grab it for you. It's this, it's Kalal. It's an alcohol-based glue, so there's no water content. It's never going to buckle your paper. I really, really love it. Right, when you've let your little tabs go tacky, you can fold over the long edges first, and that sandwiches those tabs in place underneath, and then your short sides go a long way to help keep your long sides tucked in. So there is my box looking gorgeous. And the next up is your lid, and that's this page here that appears on page 1. So you've got 2 creases to make here, down this tab here and then down the centre of the box there. And you can either glue this tab onto the inside or the outside. I'm going to glue it onto the inside, but first of all I'm going to get my big glue and I'm going to glue this entire page down. I guess you could leave this open if you wanted to, and you've got a big old writing space there as it flips out and opens and reveals, but I want the rigidity of this box, so I'm going to glue that together. And then I'm going to turn it over and I'm going to glue this tab here. And let that go tacky for a moment. I've also got some little closures here that I'd planned to put on. I've got this piece to go here like this and this piece to glue on underneath. So I think what I'll do with these is I'll glue the half, stick it on like this, whoops, and then fold this half in half over the top of it. And I'm aware that I might need to go in and trim with scissors because I've cut by hand with this one, so I'm not going to have made perfect circles. I'm just going to leave that there for now whilst we go back and glue this sweetheart onto the inside of our box. You can glue yours onto the outside of the box by all means, but I wanted that little bit of extra, just that whisker of extra depth there, so that my box would close on top of this lid. But by the time you've stuffed your box with all its contents, it's not actually going to be a problem. So by all means, glue on the outside if you want to. There we are, that looks great. And now I can glue on my closure, which is going to glue on here. I'm going to have to trim off this end piece. I'm quite happy with that. Trim that off straight. And a little bit more. You don't have to use this closure if you don't want to. There is a belly band as well. There we go. That will fit on there like that. And it just slots inside in case you don't want to use the belly band. I'll do both as soon as I'm making a video. And I'll stick this somewhere in the middle, just like that. I think it looks quite pretty. Making sure that my fold is in line with the edge of the box there, and I'll let that dry. So that is our box complete. and it looks really rather lovely. And now we're ready to move on to popping the contents in. So you will need these 2 pages that appear on page 4. I didn't mention that you need 2 copies of this page. So if you haven't done that, go back and make 2 copies of this page. Sorry about that. And we're going to glue one of these tabs underneath the other page like that. And that glues on really nice and invisible. And now we're going to zigzag fold, accordion fold, this whole long page together. And I'm going to start by, this piece incidentally is at the top with this deep pattern there. That piece goes at the top. So I'm going to start by folding my end tab inwards, and then I'm going to zigzag fold like this all the way along so that I've got one of my recipe pages on the outside. You'll find if you do it the wrong way around, don't worry about that, just fold it the other way. Or you can have it so that it opens with one of those pages on the front. It's up to you, just fiddle about with that until you get it the way you would like it to be. And then we're going to glue this in place. So glue on this long tab. If you want to decorate before you glue and stick your pockets on, you can do. In which case I always recommend you watch the video. Just skip a couple of minutes ahead, just in case there's something you miss, or a change to the way that you want to do it. So now I'm going to open my box. I'm going to glue this inside. This needs to glue quite close to the bottom. You'll see that it's shorter than the box, and the reason for that is that our little fairies are quite tall. So you want to glue this right close to the bottom of the box, butt up against the bottom of the box with this. And once you've glued that in place, we have a matting panel that appears on page 10 that looks like this, and I'm going to glue all over this and stick it down on top of that tab. I've just had a real splurge of glue there. Whoops, that's a lot of glue. This stuff dries beautifully quickly as well. Very little hanging around. There we are, and then you can pop this piece over your tab at the back there, and you can centralise that one if you want to a little bit more, and press that down in place, and there's the back. And here are all the accordion folded pages. Right, let's move on. Next up we have the 6 pockets, and you've got 3 score lines, 1, 2 and 3. Fold your tabs under. I'm going to thumb cut a nice little tab into the top of my little mushroom there, and I'm going to glue my tabs. And that will then sit with ever such a narrow border all the way around the edge on one of your panels on top of the white section. The slight border is there just to make sure that your folds in your accordion folding don't get compromised by these long pockets. So there's a little shape all the way around the edge and just slightly more at the top. And then we have a little pocket. Now each of these little pockets corresponds with the recipe and with the page. So have a look at what there's one for mushroom soup, there's one for sweet corn soup, etc, etc. So make sure you stick the right pocket onto the right page. And there's a little border all the way around there. And when you've done that one, you can continue and do the other 6. Now I've put mine in the order of my 3 soups and then my 3 desserts, but you can go in whichever order you like. And then there's a lot of weight in here now. It feels really nice and substantial. And then on the reverse, you've got space there to write your own recipes. You can add some more pockets if you want to. You've got a little bit more room in there yet, I think. And then we can pop our recipes in. Now our recipes appear like this. I haven't inked in any of my edges. I will ink in my edges for this project. Let's do a little bit around the top for now so we can get the effect. This one is a little bit compromised because of the box, but it will go in. I feel sure it'll go in. And there we are, and slide right down to the bottom like that. And I hope that they fit. That one fits fine. If you have to trim just a little bit off the bottom of these pages to make them all fit properly, then obviously go ahead and do that. They fit in there absolutely beautifully. And then we can close them all, and we've got our berries, and that looks lovely, but that's not quite all. No, because we've got these extra recipe cards as well, and you can dot those about as you please. You can pop some of these on the back if you like. If you wanted to, you could score a line under here. You could glue that section, and you've got this lovely writing space on the back there. Now, for some reason, I haven't printed the reverse of some of these. Oh, that was an error on my part, but that happens. Never mind. Right, but these have been designed to fit in these pockets as well. So if you want to double up with some of these and have some more fairies with your own recipes on, doesn't have to be beetroot related, obviously, or sweet corn related. They can be whatever you like, just a nice fall themed recipe there. But I'm sure you've got your own recipes connected with fall and apples and pumpkins and so on. So there we go, that's it. I'm going to pop these in a minute. This she sticks out over the top. Who are you? This little apple, I'll trim her down just ever so slightly, and maybe trim down the top of her leaves just a little bit. Give me that extra millimetre or so of room that I need in there. Let's pop her in here for now, see how she's getting on. There we are. Now this doesn't actually hold the closure inside. If you wanted to put a little tiny Velcro dot on there or a magnet, you could do that. But we have got this belly band, and we have got this teapot, and this is what he was for here. So a bit of ink on there, a bit of ink on here. Now I want my teapot to be on the front. You may choose not to use this, as I said initially, you may choose not to use this. I've put it in here for the sake of the video, just as an illustration, a demonstration, as part of the tutorial. So I'm going to begin by wrapping my belly band around. I've got lots to play with. Make sure that I can slide this off comfortably before I commit to gluing. I'm going to trim a bit off the end. I don't want to trim the teapot off, but it's going to get covered up anyway, so it doesn't really matter. Trim this end off. Oh, well, I'll cut my teapot off. Can I afford to cut off my other thing as well? I can, but I'm just going to cut off my teapot, I think. And then I'm going to apply glue to both of these pieces. See where my doily needs to sit. Plonk him on. And I'm going to take that off and let it dry without interfering with its placement too much. There we go. So that's my beautiful, beautiful belly band with all the cakes and so on. So here it is. It is very, very nearly complete. Oh, I've got some ink on there. Isn't that annoying? All that's left for me to do is to pop my little fairies in their corresponding pockets. And I have checked that all of these fit, so don't worry, you're not going to get any sticking out over your folds. Little beetroot fairy though, she's lovely, and she's lovely. And you've got the little pumpkin fairy in a little pumpkin cake pocket. We haven't quite finished because I haven't glued on these matting panels that go on the side, and I've got 4 of those, and I've got the, so I think as a little final touch, and just to show you what I mean about putting a couple of little flips on those pages, I think what I'll do is I'll show you by making a crease at the bottom of the fairy. I'm going to pop her here and not mind overly much that she peeps out behind the other fairy, and then I'm going to glue just in the square area. I'm not going up onto the fairy here, so just glue that square area down here like this. It's going to have to go with a little border all the way around. Works very, very well. And then when that glue is dry, you can flip up and you've got a big space there for a recipe, and that'll flip down like that. I'll just do that with that one just to show you what I mean by that. Looks great, looks great. So this whole thing now feels really, really lovely. It's really substantial and weighty. I've got 2 more little guys that I need to tuck in somewhere. And obviously you're free to print out more of these as well. Make yourself some more recipe cards, and you can glue all 6 panels like that if you want, and probably get a couple more in besides. There's still some room in there. Now this doesn't hold this shut here, so I only put it on as an illustration for the video. If you wanted to pop a little bit of a little Velcro dot on there or a little magnet, you could do that, or just tuck that inside there like that, and then your beautiful belly band with the little doily teapot and all the cakes around goes over the top, and there is your completed Fairy Fall Cafe Kitchen recipe box. Complete. I hope you've absolutely loved that. Looks really, really well. Have a great time, and I will see you next time.